The Bombay High Court, in a significant order today, said on the defaulters, those who do not repay their loans, that public banks cannot issue lookout circulars. The High Court said there is no power in law for the public banks to issue LOCs. The High Court order would render such bank LOCs redundant. The High Court also said it won't impact orders by the tribunals or the courts. Lookout circulars stop person from leaving the country. Now, this is a significant order that the High Court has in fact given, and has said that they do not have the power in law to issue lookout notices against any defaulter. The High Court's verdict would now the bench has said that the Bureau of Immigration shall not act upon such LOCs issued by the banks. The court also said its judgment would not affect the orders issued against any defaulter by a tribunal or a criminal court restraining them from travelling abroad. To understand the significance legally as far as this order is concerned, let me bring in Mr. Ashutosh Srivastava, Advocate, Supreme Court. Thank you, Mr. Srivastava, for joining us. Just to understand, in simple terms, how will this order impact as far as the legal process is concerned? And what was the process before? Could, let's say, any XYZ bank against any person, yes, what was the process? They could, simply issue an LOC and that will be, in fact, honored by the Immigration Bureau. What was the process and how it changes now?
See, the chairpersons of the public sector banks were given certain powers, by the office memorandum, by which they had the powers that if anybody has defaulted in the loan repayment to the bank, so the bank could have written it to the Bureau of Immigration for the issuance of LOC, that is lookout circular against that person. And that person could not fly thereafter once this LOC was issued by the concerned immigration department. So that was the thing. But now when the matter came up before the Bombay High Court, it, analyzed everything and said that though the office memorandum is not ultra vires the constitution, but at the same time, the powers given to the chairpersons of these public sector banks are arbitrary in nature, and it is a kind of power which is not allowed in the law. So this is how they pass the judgment. So now hereafter, if the bank has to, stop someone from traveling, away from India who has defaulted in the repayment of loan, then they will have to approach the competent court, and then the competent court will look whether there is a requirement of the issuance of LOC. And if it is so, then the court will pass an order and it will make the directions to the Bureau of Immigration for the issuance of LOC. So now the court process will have to be followed by the banks. They cannot have the powers directly to issue LOC through the immigration department. I think, however, it is open to the public sector banks also. Maybe they may challenge this before the Supreme Court. That all depends on them. So this is what is the basic idea behind this order. So it is basically, it also speaks about,
right,
Article 21 of the Constitution, which gives certain liberties to the citizens of this country.
Okay.
So the court today was of the view that these rights cannot be snatched away from the citizens if they have made any default in their loan repayments.
Right.
Actually, this issue came up with the for the government sometime back in 2018, and also before, when many of the people who were defaulting heavy loan payments to the public sector banks and they were going abroad. So this rule came up. However, this has been now struck down by the High Court today, by the division bench.
Sir, for joining us and putting out the legal position as it stands on the day today after this order.